Hello everyone, this is Toby with Birdsong Studios. How are you doing today? Thank you all for being here, for joining me on the channel. I greatly appreciate your time, your attention, your openness to these messages. So today we are going to take a look at the energies around the solar eclipse in Libra that occurs on October the 14th. In the East Coast, or on the East Coast of the United States, will happen at 1:55 p.m. Again, Eastern time, and that will occur at 21 degrees of the sign of Libra. Libra is symbolized by the scales. So it is also associated with 7th house in the zodiac, which is all about relationships, and it is about balance as well, bringing things back into balance that have been out of balance, and whether we're talking about the relationship with self or any relationship with others, it is about that bringing into harmony the energies of those relationships. So I don't, a lot of times I will get information when I'm doing these readings. I'll meditate on them, and as I'm doing the sigil, I will get a sense of what the reading is going to be about. I don't always pull cards beforehand, but today I did get a sense, and I kind of have felt this coming up because it's been coming through in some of the channeled messages, about being in a state of unconditional love, of recognizing that we all are one. And that can be incredibly challenging and difficult in times such as these, when there is so much chaos, there is so much tragedy in the outside world. But recognizing that there is light and dark within each of us, and that is not by mistake, it is by design. And it is just as we, in the journey of our lives, are often invited to, or pushed to in some cases, explore our own shadow and how that has impacted the choices that we've made, the directions we've taken in our life, the relationship that we have with ourselves, and then how that impacts the relationship we have with others and with the external world. So just as we take that personal journey, and just as our journey of growth and healing along that path helps to heal the collective, then there comes a point in time when we need to turn our attention to, well, not turn our attention to, but to recognize that the same is true for the journey the collective is on. And so just as we each have shadow aspects, it is apparent that it exists in the collective as well. But it is not about fearing those or even demonizing those, but finding forgiveness for that and recognizing that we all are one. And so doing our best to find a state of unity that is based in coexistence and tolerance. And so now we're getting to why I have left these cards out here, because they perfectly exemplified the energy I've been feeling. And so I left them out. I'll put them back in the deck, but I left them out so that you guys could see them. I have not used this deck for you yet. I believe this is the first time using this for a collective reading. This is the Christ Consciousness deck by Amanda Ellis, and it is profoundly relevant, especially at this time, when we are being asked to find forgiveness and acceptance for all that is. For all that is in the outside world is representative of something within us. And you guys, it's hard for me to even say that knowing what's going on. However, this is the message we're getting. And it is a message I believe in as well. Although it's difficult for human me to say these things because there is, wow, there's so much out there, right? So much ugliness and violence and tragedy. And darkness. However, in order, it's just on, I shouldn't say just, it is on a much bigger scale, but it is the representative of this same path that we journey upon as individuals. And just as we have to dig down deep in order to reveal those things that we have buried and that we have hidden for so long, when they start to come out, we can't turn away from those, because in the turning away from it, that's when it becomes more powerful. And so in recognizing and then in trying to fight it, it becomes more powerful. It just continues the cycle. So it is not to fight, it is not to resist, it is not to vilify or condemn, but it is to recognize that in order to reach a point of peace, there has to be unity. And the sacred union of individuals, the sacred union of souls, the sacred union within each of us. And that is what brings this unity and this coexistence and the ability to find, our ability to find tolerance is dependent upon, or no, let me back up, I'm saying that backwards. Our ability to coexist is dependent upon our ability to be in tolerance. All sides. It's not about picking sides. That is duality. That's what keeps us in separation. No matter what side we're talking about. That is irrelevant. Okay, so it's such an important time, guys. It's such an important time. I feel like I keep saying that, but it's true. All of these moments are important, and they are intensifying. Okay, so I'm going to leave these out. And let me show them to you, because they're beautiful cards. Here, well, let me show them to you in it. This is the order they came out in. There we go. Let's see if I can do this. Sacred Union. And Coexistence. Unity, sorry. 2 cards of union. Aren't they beautiful? And this one, so interesting that this eclipse is an annular eclipse, which creates a ring of fire. And that, although this is the earth in the center of this rainbow ring, it just looked, at first glance to me, it definitely has eclipse type vibes to it, or eclipse type look to it. Okay, so we're going to leave that there with the Christ Consciousness deck. We might come back to it. But for the moment now, I'm being guided to the Life Soul Vision Oracle. And let's pull a couple more cards and see else would like to be shared about this eclipse? And if you'd like to know the numbers on this, we have 29 is the Holy Grail card of the Sacred Union, and we have 27 is Unity. So there's a 9 and 11. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate your presence here. Oh gosh, that's beautiful. Blossoming Soul Song. This is that sense of hope. Hope, optimism. Now, from a place of bypassing what is going on or what you're feeling or what is out there, but it is maintaining this sense of hope that comes from the love of the divine that is within each of us. Recognizing what can be birthed through what can be birthed on the other side of destruction or conflict or chaos. And holding that in our hearts, holding that outcome in our hearts, focusing on that. And I'm quiet because I'm drawing a blank on the name of this bird, and I cannot believe this. But oh my gosh. Okay, the yellow bird that goes down into the mines. Oh my gosh. What in the world is the name of this bird? Okay, that's bad. But this is what happens when I'm channeling too, is sometimes the simplest of words I can't think of. I keep wanting to say cardinal is very obviously not a cardinal. So anyway, you guys know what it is. But why I'm bringing that up is because first it's on this card and it reminds me of coming out of the darkness. Right? Coming out of the darkness of the mind. Funny that I said the mind. But the mind, which can be the mind when we are in a place of fear. So allowing ourselves to, not even allowing ourselves, but intentionally bringing ourselves out of the darkness of intentionally moving our focus from the darkness. And it's not to ignore it, but it's to be in the energy of acceptance of what is, while focusing your heart space and your intention upon the best possible outcome, upon that which you wish to see in the world, upon peace, upon love, upon resolution, peaceful resolution, upon unity, tolerance, coexistence, union, divinity, love. And I'm going to think of the name of that bird, and I'm sure somewhere in the reading I'm going to come back around and just, it'll burst out of me, so I apologize in advance for that. But yeah, It's this heart, it's this blossoming heart energy that's coming from your soul and from all of us. And this is the gift. And look how it's the same field of tulips. And they're both 8 cards. Next year's an 8 year, 2024. We have to get through the tough parts in order to have a clean slate. And didn't that come up in the last reading? In order to have a clean slate and to rebuild upon. To rebuild upon from this place of this blossoming soul song. One that is infused, not even infused, it's built upon love. And look at all the light in these 2 cards shining through these portals. And that's another reason why I say that it's so, and we have the rainbow here too around the earth, this rainbow light in both. And the rainbow signifies hope, doesn't it? Hope and a pureness of it's that childlike wonder too, that and the beauty of nature and all that is what is here around us. It's like a physical representation of divine light. Okay, so I lost my train of thought with that. That's interesting. The yes, so being able to hold that vision of that which we wish to see, and not allowing ourselves to be sucked into a narrative that speaks of fear and victimization. And a sense of dread, as if we don't have, as if we are powerless. Because where our power comes from is from this heart space and from the love of the divine. Oh, and I can hear you guys. Oh, I know it's very, and this is why I'm speaking slowly, because at the same time I'm getting these messages of hope and balance and unity and tolerance, and yet I can also see and hear the pushback to that, the and even within my, I mean, not even, but within myself too, the I know it in my heart, and I hold it very deeply within my heart, and I go back to it frequently. And the more things that go on in the outer world, the more I go back to it. That deep knowing and the reason for all of, oh wow, it's so hard for me to even say, the reason for all of this to unfold in this way, so that we are able to see what we need to see, so that we are able to then move forward from a place of awareness, so that we can do things differently. So the guidance is for us to do our very best to not get drawn down deep into that mine of darkness. Oh man, I almost had the name of that bird. It was coming. I can hear you all yelling at me with the name of the bird, and I still can't figure out what it is. You know, this is part of the message. This is part of the message. Don't get so and because my guys are saying it's not important, the name of the bird. It's not important. So when we focus too much on the details, then we're honing in on something that takes us away from the more important mission of this time, of holding that heart space energy, holding that sense of hope, holding that vision of what we want for the future, what we've been working towards. And if we can take our personal paths, and the reason why you set out upon that path, why was that? Was that to gain more clarity in your life, to be able to do things differently, to be able to do things differently, or create an environment in which the future generations could do things differently and have a different experience? So take that path and those intentions and those motivations and translate that to what is going on in the greater world. Because certainly upon your journey, you had some really tough times. Some really ugly things came up and needed to be faced in order to be able to be released. But you never let go of that vision of the future for yourself. You always knew that there was a gift at the end of this rainbow. You always checked back in with your guides, whoever they may be, knowing that they were there to protect you all along the way, to guide you. It was only necessary for you to ask for help, to ask for their guidance, and then be willing to open your heart to it, to receive it. And that is exactly what is being asked of us right now, except that it is playing out on a global scale. I know it's not. Oh man, I almost had the name of the bird. See, this is also, I know I just said that, but what's interesting is when we step away from the trying to drill down into the minutia of the details, that then the answers are revealed to us. When we stop trying to analyze or uncover the answer, then we allow ourselves to move to this higher perspective, and then that's when we get clarity in a variety of areas, including those small details. They rise up to the surface, so to speak. They reveal themselves to you. Hold the vision. Hold the vision. Okay. Let's see. What else do we need to... I heard somebody say, I don't think I can do that. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And I say that as someone offering support to you, not judgment. Encouragement to keep going. To not give up on that. To not give up on... Oh, this sound so dramatic, but don't give up on humanity. We can't give up on each other. Another gift, a hidden gift. And we have another 9 card. Yeah, the hidden gift. Oh my goodness, the hidden gift in all of this that we're experiencing. Sadness, an ending, and a new beginning. And it looks to me like angel wings behind. Yeah, angel wings behind him. Again, going back to connecting in with your guides. When you're feeling unsure or you're feeling like you're wavering. Being able to... I just keep hearing hold the vision. Holding on to that soul song. And so with this hidden gift, and going back to the symbolism of the sign of Libra and what it represents, can we balance the sadness, the awareness of this ending with our vision and hope for the future? That's part of the sacred union as well, is it not? It's allowing for the and, allowing for the awareness and acceptance of what is going on and what is and what may be seen in the external world, just as you did on your personal path, or you are doing on your personal path. And having excitement for the new, and having hope for the new, and having a vision of the new, allowing those things to be in balance on the scales. And I keep getting drawn back to this empty space here, because there's a lot of supportive light language all around this sigil, and then we have this empty space. And this feels like, it feels like this portal let me draw another card on that, because I feel like there's more to that. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to go to the Wild Unknown Tarot. There's definitely something that wants to be said about this point of void. Oh, that came through in that 1010 channeling. That the void being the 0 of the 1 and the 0 in the 1010, between from that point to 1111. Oh, very interesting. So that may be representative of that time frame. Certainly with an eclipse, the energies of the eclipse can be felt and experienced for 6 months even afterwards. And I have felt that the next 6 months are really can be intense. But so with this, we're going to look at exact, oh my gosh, my words just left me. We're going to look at the, in particular, this particular space in the sigil, because it feels like there's something there that we should be aware of as we're moving into this time between the eclipse and the 1111 portal. And again, we do have an 11 here with the Holy Grail. That's 29. Five of Cups. Sadness. I'm getting a sense of despair almost, and the word despondency. But hang on, we're not going to prejudge this. Hang on. I can feel you guys kind of jumping ahead here. There's more to it. The Knight of Swords. I'm getting a choice energy here. I think this is that point of making a choice on how we are going to experience this time. Where are we going to put our energy? And I know that I feel like some of my messages to you guys can be almost a bit redundant, but it's because of the importance of, yeah, there's the High Priestess, and look, we have a 2. 11 is a 2. And with 27 and 29, that was 11, this is 9, that's 20, that's a 2. And I have chills. So I was saying I get this. I know that there is some repetition in some of these readings, but it is because it is so important. This is why our guides are bringing this through to us on a regular basis. It's so important where we put our focus and being intentional with where we put our energy. And I'm getting that energy of being down in the mine again, in the darkness, and losing our way because we turn our backs. I'm seeing someone turn their back to the light. Not to be dramatic, but that's what I'm seeing. So are you going to choose? You can be in the mine and still turn and face the light. Yeah. You can be in the mine where there is darkness all around you and still turn and face the light. You can still choose to put your focus on the light. And that's what that's what's coming up here. That's what this blank space is. And that's because it's a choice. We all have free will. So what are we going to choose? Are we going to choose to stay in the despair? Are we going to choose to... Here's our choice. With this Knight of Swords, it's a Son of Swords, it's an owl with a sword. Swords are air energy. Libra is an air sign. And then we have the High Priestess. So are we going to choose to stay in our mind? And this is what I'm getting here. And be so focused. See how hyper-focused this owl is? Even his sword is pointing the same direction as his eyes. So are we going to be so hyper-focused on what the name of this bird is? Are we going to be so hyper-focused on one thing or one set of things? Are we going to be so hyper-focused on the darkness that we forget to feel into our heart space? Because the High Priestess is representative of our intuition, our psychic gifts, our ability to see beyond the illusion. Our ability to see beyond the illusion. But if we're narrowing our focus so much with our sword on one thing, there's no way we can see the higher perspective. We are so zoomed in, we cannot see the higher perspective. And we are being asked to sit back a bit and allow it to be revealed. Allow it to be revealed. I'm seeing this globe there with the tiger as the earth. When I first looked at it, that's what it looked like to me. So that's the ultimate higher perspective, right? Being able to see the highest perspective. That allows the answers to be revealed to us. That allows us to see beyond the illusions that are being that are crumbling. That's a huge part, if not the reason for the unfolding that's happening now. And it's painful. It's hard. It's not easy to look at because the things that are revealed are, I mean, they were hidden for a reason, right? But they have to crumble for us to be able to create this vision. Not create the vision. Create reality from this vision. Okay, we're going to do a couple more and then we'll close. Yeah, so what are we going to choose here? And it's open because of free will. We each have the ability to choose. What are we going to choose? We are being guided to choose love, to choose tolerance, to choose forgiveness, to choose unity, to choose divinity, to choose hope, to choose love. So how are you going to draw that in? How will you color that in? In each moment, how will you color that in? What choice will you make? Okay. Give me just a second, guys. Yeah. No. Look, we have 7 of Cups here. The card of not being able to make a choice. It is the card of illusions, too. And look at this. I don't even have to pull cards. Look, I cut it right there. 7 of Cups, illusions. Not being able to see clearly, right, what's underneath these shells. Not being able to make a choice. And then we have the Ace of Cups underneath. Look at this. And then we have the 2 of Wands. That's needing to make a choice, needing to move forward on something. And then we have the Ace of Cups and 9 of Pentacles. This is sovereignty. And this is coming from your heart space. I don't know that I need to pull anymore. This says it all right here. When you make this choice from your heart space, that's when you step into independence, freedom, sovereignty, and abundance. Abundance in all forms. So how are you going to color in this space of the sigil? Which direction are you going to turn when you're in the mind? Where's your focus going to go? And can you balance in your perception of the outer world, the light and the dark, just as you are working to do that within yourself? Because what goes on in the external world mirrors what goes on to some degree within each of us. I know that is hard to accept. It can be very hard to accept, especially with the things that are being shown now. But please know there's a reason why those things are being shown in such intense forms and manner. It's when we make the choice from our heart space. It's when we choose to turn towards the light that we reach this place of sovereignty. And when we do that, those that were in power continue to lose power. This is the breaking of the illusion. Okay, guys. Wow, I know that was kind of heavy. But if you made it this far, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your openness to these messages. I really appreciate you all so very much. And I am sending you all my love, all the best. The train had to add in there. That was perfectly timed. All my love, and wishing you all the best. And I will be back soon. Thank you.